Hi, Binta here. Thank you for coming back to another episode of Cyber School with Binta. And today, what I want to do is I want to read a book that is a little cheeky and my kids enjoy it, especially the older ones. Usually, I read this with 4 and 5-year-olds, older 4 and definitely older 5-year-olds because they understand the concept. But I think it's just still a great book because when you're in the stage between 3 and I feel like 7, you start understanding your children and you start seeing their characters, become or like flourish. And there's some kids who really, really love literature. They love reading. And then there's some kids who just feel like, you're being punished each time you're asked to read a book. I was definitely not one of those kids. I couldn't wait for my mom to be like, go get a book. Great, thank you. And so one of my favorite books that I read, and I read this with my goddaughter. I've been reading this to her for a while, and she understood it recently, and she was like, hey, we actually did read the book. But the title of the book is I Will Not Read This Book. I Will Not Read This Book by Cece Meng, illustrated by Joy Ang. Wait! Before I read this book, I have to floss my teeth and wash my ears and feed my fish. And wait! Before I read this book, I have to sip some water and scratch the tip of my nose and clean under my bed. Wait! I changed my mind. I'm not going to read today. Reading is hard and I don't read fast, and sometimes there are words I don't know. I will not read this book. And you can't make me. I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe. I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe. Over a cliff. Yes, I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff. I will not read this book. While tickling my feet. I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet. In a rainstorm. Yes, I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm. I still will not read this book. Even with lightning above, I will not read this book if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm with lightning above and sharks down below. Yes, I will not, and he's really happy right now. I will not read this book even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm with lightning above and sharks below. And also, a dragon comes along and blows smoke in my eyeballs. Yikes. How would that dragon do that? Yes, I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm with lightning above and sharks down below and dragons come along and blow smoke in my eyeballs. He really doesn't want to read this book. I think they should stop because he doesn't want to read this book at all. All while there's a speeding train coming towards us. Wow, he does not want to read this book at all. I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm with lightning above and sharks below and dragons come along and blow smoke in my eyeballs, and all while there's a speeding train coming towards us. What else can he add to this? And I have to sneeze. Yes, I will not read this book, even if you hang me upside down by one toe over a cliff while tickling my feet in a rainstorm with lightning above and sharks below, and a dragon comes along and blows smoke in my eyeballs, and all the while there's a speeding train coming towards us and I sneeze and you drop me and you drop me. Wait! If you drop me, I might change my mind and read. But only if you catch me. And then I will read this book with you. Only if you catch me. The end. Yes, this is one of my favorite books, and for me, I've been reading it, like I said, for a while with my goddaughter, and the day she actually looked up at me with like a sly smile, like, hey. She was like, hey, but we did read the book, and throughout the entire book, she was cackling, she was cracking up, but in the beginning, she did not even want to sit with me to read. And that's just some of the joys I have of reading with children, and yeah, so I will not read this book.